Well guys, what's the crack? It's Hanoria Sims here and welcome back to my channel. So before we get started, if you like this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I make lots of Sims content, including speed builds, challenges, let's plays. So yeah, join if you'd like. So for today's video, we have another speed build, and once again, this is for my save file. And we are working in Britechester, rebuilding the Foxbury Commons. So what really spurred me on to do this build is that I was playing my game and my Sims, it was time for them to go to university, and I realised that I had bulldozed all of the world because I was playing in my save file and hadn't done this section yet, so that really gave me the kick that I needed to go and get the university 10 done. So I'll not like post all university videos in one go. I think maybe the next one I'll have coming up will be the Pepper's Pub remake that I did, but I'll separate it out, don't worry. But I am so happy with this build. I have only worked on the Foxbury University. I haven't touched Britechester yet because it just so happens that the game I was playing, both my Sims were ready to go to Foxbury, and that was where they were getting the degrees that suited them. So yeah, haven't touched Britechester yet, or yeah, UBrite, whatever it's called in game. I've actually never properly played in that university because it just so happens, as I say, that the Sims I was playing, they always seem to just have the distinguished degrees from Foxbury, but I will eventually because I actually kind of almost prefer the aesthetic of the UBrite instead of Foxbury because it's got that kind of almost castle-y vibe to it, but the modern style of this is still quite nice, and I was really happy with it, as I said. So it's very much, the outside is this black and white theme, and then on the inside I bring in the Foxbury colours, the oranges and the reds. So it's quite themed throughout, but it is jam-packed with stuff for your Sims to do. I have a gym, a robotics lab, I have a computer lab with a bit of a library going on. The robotics lab also includes general science equipment, so it's more of just a lab in general. And then we also have a kind of games room, if you want to call it that. It's just sort of like a chill out area, and then I also have the canteen area, which has sort of mini kitchenette and also the item that comes with university, the canteen, where a Sim will show up as a vendor and the food is free. So that's actually one of the required items you need in the Foxbury Commons. I also included an art studio, and I know that Foxbury isn't really the arty kind of school, but I thought, you know, you can still do art there, it's just not the distinguished degree, so I just thought it'd be nice to have sort of everything that your Sims can do here. So there's kind of like the sciencey side to one side and then the artsy side to the other. So it's cool, and I really like what I did with the footpath landscaping. It's kind of minimal, which was hard for me. And then the little fountain in between and the walkway across. Yeah, I really liked it, and I love this little kind of like a rock garden inside. There's actually two, so there's this one here where the bamboo tree goes up to the second floor, and then there's another one under the stairs that you'll see me do in a minute, and I thought they turned out really nice. Nice and relaxing. It's definitely very modern. It kind of reminds me, in the college I went to, there was this sort of raised garden under there was like big stairs, and there was kind of like, yeah, it was like a raised garden. I don't even know if the actual plants in it were real or not, but it doesn't matter. These technically aren't real either. So yeah, really happy with it. And the sort of landscaping I did was quite uniform, although it's still a little bit not overgrown, but I guess random. Like everything isn't placed exactly perfect, you know, pruned or whatever, but it's still, I use like kind of the same few plants over and over again, just to kind of make it look like it is being well kept and like it's looked after. And obviously there's a lot of funding would go into this university and that kind of thing, but I think it definitely looks nice and a little bit overgrown at the same time. I just didn't want it to be too I guess robotic, even though that's like, there's a robotics lab in here, but you know what I mean. I still wanted it to be a bit chilled out, not too perfect, I guess is what you could say. But yeah, it still looks, I don't know, it definitely reminds me of university buildings that I've seen. The college I went to it kind of definitely had this modern style to it, so it sort of reminded me of that. And I know like the Commons really is just meant to be a sort of, I guess, hangout place for your Sims, but you could almost treat this like a university in that there's the art studio, there's the science lab, the canteen, the gym, you know, it has everything in it, stuff that you don't necessarily need to be in your game or in your university commons. But I wanted it to be this place that your Sims can go to kind of practice all their skills, because the university housing, I haven't done it yet, because when I was playing I had my Sims live off campus, so I didn't feel the need to do them. I have refurbished them before, but I just wasn't quite happy with it, so I'm definitely going to be redoing it for the save file and to make a video and put it up. But when I redid it the first time, I kind of made it like this, where I put sort of everything into it, and I actually put one of those, you see here, the canteen cafeteria stations, and yeah, it's good because your Sims don't have to leave to go get food, but I actually think it probably makes more sense to just have a little kitchenette like that in it, because realistically, if you're living in university housing, there's not going to be a cafeteria that someone is hired to come work in. Well, it's not my experience, not that it's just not what I think is a real thing. I don't think it is. So I think when I do it, I definitely will not put that in. I think I'll still put like a study room and a chill out area, and as I said, the kitchenette, but it won't be, I suppose, as structured as this. It will be more like a living space. But yeah, I'll be working on that eventually. I'm actually really looking forward to do the Ubright ones, because it's a completely different style, and I haven't built in it yet, so that is exciting. But I really enjoyed doing the orange and red theme throughout. It's so vibrant, and it's almost like such a contrast, because the outside is so black and white and modern, and then you come in and it's all these bright colours. And I know that the furniture itself is modern, but I guess the bright colours, it kind of doesn't seem as modern or something like that. I don't know, but I think the contrast is nice. The only room that isn't really bright is that lab that you saw me building. I just basically put all the science kind of equipment that I could think of in there, and this is the art studio that I built for it as well, and I really like it. I would have loved to have something like this in my college. So I've put in the candle making, the easels, and the digital sketch pads there. I kind of thought it looked like you could be having a class where you had to sit there with your digital sketch pad. I don't know. Obviously you don't actually go and take classes here, but you know, for your imagination, or I guess if you wanted to take screenshots or play around with poses or anything like that. And then I used all of these like unlockable items as well. So once you go into your game and you click on each of them, you can say enable emotional aura. So as soon as your Sims go in there, they should get inspired, because there's so many of those items that it'll just be so heavy an impact with the moodlets that it should just straight away make your Sim inspired. But yeah. As I said, I know it's a bit strange having the art studio in the Foxbury Commons, but I thought it still worked. And this is me working on the sort of leisure area. I don't think I finish it right now. I was sort of going through everything and just placing all the items I thought I wanted, and then I was going to come back to it at the end. I just wanted to put like basically every fun activity you could think of into it. And then yeah, I wanted to do a gym because I thought it would be a nice addition to have in this building. It's kind of a complete complex for students to go to work on their skills. And again, that was something I used to put into the student housing, was a little gym area. And yeah, I don't know, it's good for taking up a bit of space to bulk it out, but again, realistically, maybe you might have like a makeshift gym in your student housing, like someone in one of their rooms might have like a treadmill or a bike or weights machine or something like that, but realistically, student housing probably isn't going to come with like a built-in gym. So yeah, I think it makes more sense to have it here. And you will see me make use of all of the items from like wall art items that are menus because yeah, I just went to town with them. I just wanted it to look really decorated. I wanted lots of like notice boards up, so it looks like, you know, people maybe are putting up signs for band members wanted, or like roommates wanted, stuff like that. So I wanted to really clutter the hallways with that kind of stuff. I think that's kind of realistic, because I think, yes, this area or this lot is maintained by the university, but it's also very student-led and student-run. So I think I wanted that to show that it's not like there's graffiti everywhere or, you know, damage and things like that, but they've definitely been allowed to put up their own posters and put up notice boards and display these kind of things. Like I think I put like a trophy shelf up in the gym and things like that. So it's very much, yeah, student-led, even though it's a building and facility that is owned by and run by the Foxbury University, if that makes sense. I don't really know like what the equivalent of this in real life would be. Well, because I know obviously the university experience in the States, which this game is based on, is a very different experience to in Ireland where I am, or in the UK or Europe. The college experience is a very different thing, and although this pack and the world of Britechester, I believe, is very UK inspired, the actual lived college experience in it is still very American, which is obviously understandable. I mean, I don't know the figures off the tip of my tongue or anything, but I'm assuming that The Sims as a franchise is obviously very American based. Well, the game is American, and I'm assuming a lot of the players are American, so it does make sense to have it from this perspective. I'm not like complaining about it, but the idea of a commons, I don't really, I guess it would be kind of built into the actual university campus. You would have these rooms, so in my head that's kind of what this is, but it would be all within the campus of the university. You'd have your library and your kind of chill out areas. You have computer labs, art studios, things like that. So yeah, it's kind of different. And obviously The Sims is never going to be 100% true to life either. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. I didn't even live on campus when I went to college. I stayed at home because I went to a college that was in my hometown. So I never had that like living in college experience. So I guess I'm not the best to talk on this topic. But let me know what your college or university experiences were like in the comments down below. I'd actually love to hear it because I find it quite interesting. And be sure to like say if you're comfortable with it, obviously where you're from, because I think it's really interesting to sort of find out these different experiences. I like hearing about different people's lived experiences with these things. But we are coming to the end of this video. I'm just doing the night lighting now, and then there will be a little tour. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a like, leave a comment down below, let me know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe if you like this video. I'll be making more Sims content every week. Bye guys!